In the southeast, you don't have cattle routes. But in the north, we have cattle routes. And so nobody is going to say ban, open grazing, in some areas in the north where there are cattle routes, where they move constitutionally from one point to the other. But in the south, there is no cattle route. And so for you to move from one point to the other, you have to move through farms. You have to move through, population, dense areas. And this is not very good. And that's what the southern governors and of course Southeast in particular are saying. Let's go back to our traditional method of relationship. We will no longer allow you to take your cattle from one local government to the other. And the implication is that these foreign headers also come in terms of mobile headers. We take A47. So that is a source of conflict. So anybody that is saying that there should be no ban on this thing is, on the other hand, saying that look, these killings will continue, and that's what gave birth to ESN. Whether we support it as governors, we don't, but the people tend to support it because of the foreign headers that pretend that they are rearing cattle and then they are killing. And in my own village, a white man was kidnapped in my village that's doing construction, by these foreign headers. And we've encouraged the federal government, let's treat this cattle raiding as a business. Take money from the federation account and develop ranches where there are designated ranches, especially in the north. And the northern governors are willing, but it's been frustrated.
Yes, my people, I am very glad the way truths are coming out. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu being vindicated one way or the other by those who said crucify him, by those who said bring him to kill, he is a terrorist, he is this, he is that. I am so much happy that the same mouth our people used to say ono aha ejiri bu ogiri asu mawo ono aha kemechakwa akpuru ogiri racha. The same mouth, the same person that said you were a criminal, you were a terrorist, you are this, you are that, the same person is the one exonerating you in the act. The same person is the one judging himself, defending you, and setting you free and acquitted. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was tagged a terrorist by Nigerian government, backed by the eastern states governors, by their words and actions. So here, I want to explain some certain things. ESN, born from state failure, not rebellion. I want you to understand, the ESN, Eastern Security Network, came as a result of state failure, not act of rebellion. Let's be honest with ourselves. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the IPOB formed the Eastern Security Network, ESN, our so-called Southeast governors, all of them, people like this Dev Omahi, we are the first to condemn it. They called it illegal. They even decided to create a bargain. But here is the question. If the state had done its job, would there be any need for ESN? Would there be need for ESN? The answer is capital no. Herdsmen massacre in Ebonyi, kidnappings rise in Anambra, no arrest made. Those are the factors that led to ESN creation. I want you to understand that what happened in Southeast was a force majeure, a breakdown of order. Terror was real, blood was flowing, yet those who swore to protect us, the governors, became spectators in their own region. They enjoyed security votes while the communities cried for help. In law, we have what is called doctrine of necessity. Doctrine of necessity, when institutions collapse and danger becomes unbearable, the people have a legal and moral right to defend themselves. That's exactly what ESN represents, not rebellion, but community self-defense under emergency condition. It's right to say the Southeastern governors should be ashamed of themselves because they failed in their responsibilities. Even when other parts of the country, we are solidifying their own security, we are beefing up their own securities, like Omotekun in Yoruba land, Hisba in the north, then ESN members patrolling. The west has Omotekun, The North has Hisbah. Why is it that only the East is criminalized for creating ESN? Is self-defense only legal when it comes from other regions? That question, I want the Southeastern governors, those shameful Southeastern governors, let them answer that question. Let's see from the perspective of social contract in this scenario of ESN emergence, the very foundation of government. In the aspect of emergence of the Eastern Security Network, the people give you power so you can protect them, protect their lives and properties. But when the power is abused or abandoned, the people reserve the right to rise. It is legally right to say you have the right to rise. When the power that you entrust in the hands of the government to safeguard your life and properties fell in their hand, or they abandon that very power which you entrust in their hand, it is legally okay to say you can rise, not for war, but for survival. ESN did not declare war. They declared enough is enough. They filled a vacuum left by governors too afraid or too compromised to act. Our governors were jittery at that point in time. Don't listen to what this man is saying. It's out of shame that this man is saying all these things that he's saying. Now, because the truth cannot be hidden for such a long time. Southeast governors, you failed in your constitutional duty. Don't attack the man who responded to your failures, to your silence, to your inactivity, to your inability to defend your own people. Attack the insecurity you allowed to grow, because when governance fail, resistance is not terrorism, it is called protection. Nobody born with sane mind, even a mad person, you cannot say you want to kill a mad person and the mad person remains in one place. A mad person must make a way to survive. Even in the jungle, the wild animals can never be quiet when they are being hunted, So this devil Mai coming out to say this kind of things, saying all these things, why they vomited fire, why they said all kinds of things, they condemned the ESN, they condemned the Mazin Nandikal, and they brought about the bag that we have in the Southeast today. Yet the Fulani terrorists are still parading all over. Instead of chasing the enemy, instead of fighting those that are killing your people, you turned against those that are fighting for you. You turned against those that are protecting your lives and property. You turned against your own blood instead of fighting against those that are terrorizing our land. So now, Devil Maye is telling you it was out of a necessity, it was out of this, it was out of that. What was his words when he was still in power? What was his words when this ESN was formed? They should be ashamed of themselves, all the Southeastern governors. And they are still demonstrating it, even while Mazin Nandekal is still in detention. They are still not bold enough to stand, to hold the bull by the horn, to say, this man has not done more than what any other person has done. Why is it that his own case remains like it's treated the way it's being treated? They are not bold enough to open up, to say things, because they are compromised. Igboho was once a freedom fighter. He's now free. Other freedom fighters in the nation, they are all free. But yet, Mazin Nandekalo's case is being dragged this way, this, that. He's a terrorist. The case is still being dragged. The governors have not realized their mistakes. They have not yet come to the understanding that this man being in detention is a dehumanization to their origin, to their clan. It's an injustice. But there's one thing I've always said. Injustice for one is injustice for all. The evil you do today against another person, thinking because you are not involved, it's not you, it is not affecting you, that same evil, be careful, it might come back to you. That same thing you allowed, the evil you allowed today, will definitely come haunting you. That's the way it is. That's called the law of karma. It is Mazin Nandekano's today in detention. I don't know who is going to be next tomorrow. All of these governors, none of them want to stop leadership. They don't want to go down from leadership. They want to continue. You that is watching this, have you ever asked yourself, why is it that when they finish governorship, they want to enter into Senate? Have you ever asked yourself that? From local government chairman, they enter governorship. From governorship, they enter into Senate. From Senate, they enter appointments. Have you ever asked yourself why? It's not because they don't have enough money. It's because they are protecting their track records. It's because they are protecting their compromise. It is because they are protecting all their crime, all their criminalities. They don't want to create a gap that will enable probing into their criminalities. That's why they want to be the people in decision making. They want to be the people in those places, in those areas where the decisions will be taken, to probe them, to call them for accountability. Whenever I remember that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is still in detention, it makes me sad. It makes me sad because a man that came to defend us, a man that stood up when our governors, when our leaders under social contract failed us, under social contract abandoned us, under social contract we are inactive, a man that rose to defend his own people is being charged for terrorism, is being charged for treasonable felony. It's very disgracing to the southeastern governors. Thank you and God bless you. Please do not forget to share the videos for other people to see it. And if it is your first time coming across my videos, please, I plead with you to follow my page, subscribe to my channels. Thank you and God bless you. I remain your friend Omudo. I promise I'll be bringing you updates as I see them. God bless.